I would always say, look, if you're so confident in your points of view, why do you have to turn the school system into one big God-free zone where the other side is completely walled out? Why can't you have vouchers where people choose where they go, and families can choose to have, I don't care what your family, why do you have to control how other people's kids are taught? Do you really have that little confidence in your viewpoints? Because that is the big weakness. And if you want to mock them, and I do, I enjoy mocking them. I do. Okay? And the reason is because it's a wake-up call. It's not because I'm mean. When they control, that is always a mocking point. Because every time the left controls on an issue, what they're really displaying is their lack of confidence in their position. And in fact, that's true in relationships. And I'll tell people, hey guys, and I'll be talking to young people, hey, forget left and right, forget politics for a second. Just think about relationships. When somebody tries to control you in this or that area of your relationship, aren't they just showing they have no confidence in themselves in that area? That they have to control the other person? Of course. Well, the same is true politically. If you have to control the schools where they're taught, if you have to control the work setting and what they can say, if you have to control through political correctness the verbiage they can use, if you have to control how many bullets they carry to protect themselves, if you have to control them, that means that you have very little confidence in your point of view. And personally, I think you're being too hard on yourself. You probably have more good things to say than you think.
And one other thing, too, if you're not sure what to say, because maybe it's a topic you're not very well studied up on, it's never a bad idea to ask the liberal what they think and why. And just get them talking and keep asking them questions. And you don't even have to share what you think. Just be like, okay, hey, thanks for sharing that. And then you can think about it later and think about, okay, well, what would I say in the next conversation?
And one last thing, and always the reason we give our main statements is so you can provide a guide. Our main statements are, number one, I want to control my own life, not yours. Can you say the same? Okay, I want to control my own life, not yours. Can you say the same? And number two, when they say, well, we think you control some things. No. Nobody supports every choice. But we decide it this way. We support every choice that doesn't take away someone else's choice. Can you say the same? Then you look at them and say, no, this is an issue where you have much more expertise than I do. I don't know much about this. But can we apply those measurements to this issue? And talk to me and share with me all of your expertise on this. But I want to hear where you do not control other people's lives, where you do not have one person's choice take away another person's choice. I want to hear where you give liberty rather than taking it away. And you don't have to be, and here's the final part, you don't have to be an expert at all on the issue. At that point, you've put it in their park, and they will find themselves having if they're liberal, they're going to have an impossible time conveying their views without revealing their control.
It is so beautiful. I love hearing that every week. And we need to reiterate it every week.
Yeah, it's true. And I've used the choice and control framework a lot. It's almost subconscious at this point that in any kind of discussion, whether it's to my own kind of people to try to explain a concept to them or guide them on how to argue a point, or if it's in the middle of a discussion with somebody on the other side, I will use that framework of choice versus control. And whether I use those words or not, that's in the back of my mind as I'm framing my response or my statement to make sure that what I'm guiding people to say or what I'm saying myself is in those kinds of terms. So it puts the other side on that footing of they have to defend why they want to control things. And it also loops us back to what Fishy was talking about earlier of continuing to ask, and then what? And that's an ancient technique of conversations and persuasion and debate is just asking questions. And by just asking questions, you can defeat the other guy. Because if you ask him the right questions in the right and just simple questions of, and then what? Well, and then what? You can guide them in the direction you want to take them to and make them prove themselves wrong, which is far more powerful than if you had just told them that they were wrong, because they will believe what they tell themselves.
Really, I'll at your boy Socrates.
Really quick here, JD, and then I'll let you jump in. That's what Corey's father kept using when he asked what my intentions were with his daughter. And then what? And then what? And then
I love it. Neither of us actually had a salient point there. We both wanted to get our jokes in.
If we can frame them and demonstrate them as putting roadblocks up for people who want to become rich, that they're trying to shut the door, the president's policies are trying to shut the door behind all the people who are already in. If we could try to cast it that way, that they're trying to close the gate to keep more people from doing better, I think that would work.